Hello there. I haven't been here for a little while because I've been focused on making a long held dream a reality. And as with all big dreams, they can take a long time to become real and often take help and support from others and, of course, from the universe. And this long held dream is something I've been holding close to my heart for over 2 decades. At the time I first felt it, I knew the time was not right for it, but there would be a time in the future, and I knew when that point would come, that I would be ready for this dream. And if you're wondering what it is, I'll tell you. It's something really simple. I want to live close to the coast. I had this idea and image of a country coastal cottage, but I had the feeling of living outdoors more than indoors, of being close to a rugged coastline with beautiful walks and country walks and gorgeous countryside, and being part of a community that had those independent shops and that feeling of camaraderie and knowing one another. And I first felt this in my 30s, but I knew then I was not ready for it. There was far more I still had to do in life, and at the time I still loved being a city girl and I loved the city life. But I knew that may not always be the case, and that one day I would want to make this dream a reality. And I'm going to tell you a bit more now about how that's happening. This dream was always about the feeling. It was never about a building or something material. It was always about the feeling. Even all those years ago when I first felt it, it was about the idea and the feeling of a certain lifestyle. And when we start to create, to co-create, that's my speak for manifest, when we start to co-create the things we want in life, it always starts with a feeling. And so this feeling had been building and building in me for just a very long time. And the desire of that feeling was this outdoor life near a beautiful coastline surrounded by stunning countryside. That feeling of being one with the universe, of living a more natural and happy life. And the feeling began to build and build and build, but I just wasn't sure where I wanted to be. I took trips all over the place to different counties. I thoroughly enjoyed them, but there was never that feeling of this is the place. But here's the thing, deep down in my soul, my intuition knew the place I wanted to be. I'd felt the calling, I had completely felt the calling, but I was ignoring it. Why? It's a good question. My conscious mind was ignoring that soulful calling because it was looking at things in a very practical way. So I got no connections to anybody in that place, not in this lifetime anyway. I knew no one there. I didn't even know where to start looking. I didn't know where the good places to be would look. And it all felt like too big a task to get started. I just didn't even know where to get started. But that was okay because my intention and my feeling were getting stronger and stronger. But things really started to change once I said, okay, I feel a calling to go to this place. That's what I have to do. And when I accepted that, when I accepted that's what my soul wanted me to do, it's where my intuition was taking me, it's where the universe wanted me to go. Once I accepted that, I said, okay, then universe, can you help me? And all that came together towards the end of 2024. And once I accepted the calling, once I said, okay, to the universe, give me some help, where do I start? Everything started to fall into place. Now, I'm not ready to tell you about the place and the help that came forward. The time's not right for that, but I will share that in the future. But what I do want to tell you about is the co-creation or the manifestation process. And I'm going to do that and tell you about what happened to me in 3 steps that I use with my clients that actually just happened to me very naturally to help co-create all of this. Once I'd accepted that calling and the feeling of where to be, I knew I had a knowing. And the next part in the co-creation process is something I often refer to activating. Once we know what we want, we have to activate that with intention and belief. And I felt ready to accept and embrace what I truly wanted to feel. And when I felt the time was right, at the end of last year, I simply asked the universe for help. I had the intention, I was ready to take some actions, I just wasn't quite sure what they were. I was ready to commit to the co creation process with the universe, and more importantly, I wholeheartedly believed it was possible. So when I asked for help and the help turned up, I accepted it wholeheartedly. Now, me in the past might have been so surprised that this amazing help had entered my life that I might have said, surely this can't be for me, this can't be real. But no, on this occasion, I was like, fantastic, bring this help in, let's embrace this wholeheartedly, and let's go with it. And that help allowed me to spend a whole week in the place where I wanted to be, the place where I was getting the calling to go to completely focus on co creating this life change. And as well as the intuitive co creating with the universe, I was still taking my action steps to bring this dream into reality. If any of you have ever moved house, you know there's a lot of practical tasks that come with it. So those are my actions to take. And right now, the time is right, and this dream is the closest it has ever been to become real. And that is exciting. And I'm at the point now where I'm so invested in it, I want it to happen right now. Conscious mind has become really impatient. But soul and inner self knows there's some more steps to go yet. The universe is still working on the magic behind the scenes to ensure this all happens in the right time and in the right way. I have to continue taking my actions, but I also have to continue to ensure I continue to believe and keep my vibrations at the right frequency to keep this thing moving. So now that I've got through this activation stage and I can see this activation has happened, it's manifested in this real world, I've got to keep going and I've got to keep trusting. And that's the next stage in this co creation process. And I'm going to talk to you a bit more about that now. My part in this co creation process now is to trust. And that sounds really simple, doesn't it? Just trust however long it may take now. It's none of my business. The universe is going to work out the timing for me. I just have to trust this is going to happen in the right time and the right way. And again, kind of me in the past would have found that really difficult, and it should be happening now, and why things not happening. And it's stopping all of that nonsense and just saying, yeah, I trust. I'm still going to take my practical steps, the practical earthly steps that are needed, that are my part to continue to do this. But the biggest thing I need to do now is just trust this is all working out exactly as it should. To remain hopeful, to be balanced, and to simply trust. And trust is a really important part in the co creation process, because once you start to doubt, once you start to wonder, is this going to happen? Is it ever happening? Why are things not moving quickly? Why is nothing happening? Why haven't I heard anything? The universe is like, oh, she's doubting this now, so oh, maybe we'll put some obstacles in the process because that seems to be what she's looking for, because the universe is always mirroring back to us our vibrational frequency. But you know what? I'm having none of that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm trusting. I know that I'm far enough into this co-creation process now that even if it's not the dream I wanted, a dream that is right for me is going to co-create, it's going to manifest with the universe. So trust is a really important part of this process. Now, without even realising it, I've been practicing what I preach in this co-creation process. I've I've learned about knowing what I want, although that took me a long time, and I did deny for a long time that the location I wanted to be in, because my conscious mind said, no, this can't be right. And had I listened to my intuition and my soul a lot more, I might have arrived here earlier. But we are where we are, the timing is the timing. I know the feeling that I want. I ask the universe for help, and I'm trusting. And it's such a natural and easy way of co-creating or manifesting what you want in life that I just followed the universe's method without even realising it. And that method is the cat method. And it's something that I use with clients who are struggling to manifest and co-create, or just don't know what they want in life. And I'd like to tell you a bit more about the cat method, because if you're struggling with something right now, maybe this can help you. Several years ago, the universe gave me the CAT method. I was struggling to manifest something, or struggling to know what it was that I wanted to manifest, really. And I felt like I was missing something, but I didn't know what. So I asked the universe. And that was the birth of the CAT method. And the CAT method is know, activate, and trust. It's about knowing what you want, activating your dream, and then trust it's going to happen. It's really that easy. And knowing what you want is about feeling and desire. Activating your dream is about your intention and your belief, and trust is about frequency and receiving. It's about getting rid of the doubt, it's about getting rid of the second guessing, it's about getting rid of the lack of belief, all those things that potentially hold us back and that we question just disappear with this process. And it's just very natural for us human beings to do this, and it's a natural way to co-create with the universe. And in case you're any doubt, the week I was away focusing on this wonderful dream, I asked the universe for guidance, and what came back to me was trust the plan. It came in an oracle. I asked the universe, what's your guidance for me? What guidance do you have for me today? And the oracle message that came out was trust the plan. Simple as that. When you trust, there's no worry, there's no stress, there's no trying to force things to happen that are not ready to happen. You continue to take your own actions, but without the worry of stress of wondering what will happen and when, because that's what the universe takes care of. So if you're struggling to co-create and live the life you want, feel free to get in touch with me with a chat and see if I can help you get you back on your path and support your path. But if you're struggling to manifest something wonderful, remember, it's about timing, but more importantly, it's about knowing the feeling of what you want. You've got to be able to feel it. It's about activating, asking the universe for help and to bring you the right help, and then most importantly, you let go and trust. You take your actions, but you detach from the outcome and give the universe the space to do what she needs to do to help you. And that's an easy way for manifesting. Know, activate, and trust. I'm going to keep you updated with what happens to me in my dream, creating this dream lifestyle. There'll be some more updates along the way, and there's a lot more exciting things to tell you, but I have to wait till I'm ready to do that. So whatever you're doing at the moment, whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, I send you lots of good wishes. And remember, feeling, know, activate, ask for help, and trust the universe. Trust it's all going to work out in the right time and the right way. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.